Have you ever felt that unsettling sense that someone's watching you, even inside your own home? As a senior living in the United States, you might assume your private life stays private. But the truth is far more disturbing. You're being tracked, monitored, and profiled in everyday places you'd never imagine. From your living room to the grocery store, your personal life isn't as private as you think. I'm a privacy expert, and in this video I'll walk you through 5 common places where your privacy is quietly invaded. Stay with me until the final reveal. It isn't just surprising, it's essential. By the end, you'll have concrete steps to protect yourself and reclaim your independence. Your freedom starts now. Before we begin, remember this. Silence hides the truth, but action uncovers it. If you want to keep opening doors most people never see, like this video, share it with someone who still believes they're safe, and subscribe for the answers too few people ever ask. The choice is yours. Remain watched, or start watching back. Number 1. Your smart TV, the silent spy in your living room. The days of bulky televisions with antennas and giant knobs are gone. Today's smart TVs are sleek, internet-connected computers disguised as televisions. They offer streaming apps, voice commands, video calls, and easy connection to your smart home. But under that convenience lies something far more troubling: surveillance. Yes, your smart TV may be spying on you. Every click, pause, rewind, and fast forward can be logged. These devices record viewing habits down to the second, which shows you binge, which ads you skip, which scenes you rewatch. Over time, that data forms a rich profile of your habits, routines, and even beliefs. What you watch, from nightly news to health documentaries, can be used to build a psychological map of who you are. That is only the beginning. Many modern sets include cameras and microphones advertised for hands-free voice control or family video calls. Those same tools can be exploited. There are verified cases of TVs capturing voice snippets or images without users' knowledge. In some instances, apps or manufacturers have stored or transmitted that information to remote servers without clear disclosure. Think about it. You're in your living room having a private conversation about health, finances, or family. You assume the words stay between you and the walls, but a TV microphone might be listening, analyzing, and passing that information to advertisers. Or worse, to criminals who target older adults. This is not speculation. Studies and security reports have shown smart devices sending data even when the associated apps weren't actively in use. Vulnerabilities in some models allowed hackers to access cameras and microphones remotely, effectively turning a screen into a window into your home. You're not powerless. Start with your TV's settings. It may be clunky, but take time to explore privacy controls. Disable any options that collect voice data, track viewing, or share information with third parties. Turn off the microphone entirely if you can. Cover built-in cameras with opaque tape or a sliding cover, the same simple precaution many use on laptops. Another smart move: use an external streaming device. Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV often let you control privacy settings more easily. During setup, opt out of targeted ads, decline usage tracking, and refuse analytics sharing. A few clicks can dramatically shrink your digital footprint. Protect your home network as well. Your smart TV is one node among many. Phone, smart speaker, thermostat. Secure your Wi-Fi with a strong password and encryption. WPA3 is best where available. Keep firmware and software updated. Manufacturers often release security patches. If you want to be extra cautious, disconnect the TV from the internet when you're not streaming. You can still use cable, DVDs, or Blu-rays without ongoing data collection. Personal data has become currency. Companies want to learn what makes you tick so they can influence purchases and sell information. But power doesn't have to be one-sided. Your home should be a refuge, not a testing ground. Here are practical steps to strengthen your defenses. Remove apps you don't use and be cautious signing into services. In the TV settings, disable features that collect voice data or personalize ads. If the menus are confusing, ask a tech-savvy friend. Create a separate guest Wi-Fi for smart devices so your phone and computer are isolated from appliances that harvest data. Keep your router firmware updated. Use a strong, unique password and enable the latest encryption your router supports. Check for software or firmware updates for all connected devices. Updates often fix security flaws. If a TV no longer receives security patches, consider replacing it or disconnecting it from the internet. When buying new devices, favor brands that publish clear privacy policies, allow disabling cameras and microphones, and make privacy controls easy to find. Talk with family and neighbors about these risks. Many older adults feel unsure about technology. Sharing simple steps protects the people you care about. If this guide helped, share it with someone who believes they're safe and subscribe for more senior-focused privacy tips now. Your home can be a sanctuary again. Take back control today. If these words touched your heart and sparked inspiration within you, leave a 3 in the comments to let it shine. If they did not, leave a 0 in quiet honesty. Every thought you share is a gift. Thank you for giving us a moment of your precious time. Number 2, your smartphone apps. The digital pickpocket in your pocket. Your smartphone isn't just a phone anymore. For many Americans, especially seniors, it's become a lifeline. It's how you check in with family, keep track of medications, look up the weather before heading out, or simply unwind with a puzzle or a game of solitaire. But hidden beneath all that convenience is a danger hardly anyone talks about. The apps on your phone could be quietly stealing from you, not your money, but something even more valuable, your privacy. It often begins with something that looks harmless. You see a free flashlight app, a fun puzzle game, or a weather widget. It seems innocent enough, so you download it. But the moment you do, it asks for permissions, access to your location, your microphone, your camera, even your contacts. Stop and think for a second. Why on earth would a flashlight need to know where you are? Why would a game want permission to use your microphone? The truth is simple. It doesn't. But these apps ask anyway, because your personal data is more valuable than you realize. Your location, your contacts, your photos, your voice, your browsing habits, all of it can be collected, packaged, and sold. The companies behind these apps aren't interested in who you are as a person. They're interested in turning your life into a profile they can sell to advertisers, marketers, or even cyber criminals. And here's the part that should concern you most. Seniors are especially at risk. Developers know that many older adults are less familiar with digital privacy settings and more likely to trust apps that look helpful. They design apps that appear friendly on the surface, but are really engineered to gather as much information about you as possible. A cybersecurity report from 2020 found that nearly 1 in 5 apps requested permissions that had nothing to do with the app's purpose. That means a simple calculator might be asking to see your photos, or a weather app might be requesting access to your microphone. Those permissions allow the app to track where you go, listen to what you say, or monitor your behavior, all without your knowledge. You've probably noticed something strange before. Maybe you mentioned something out loud, like needing new shoes or talking about a medication, and suddenly, ads for that exact item started showing up on your phone. That's not a coincidence. Some apps are designed to listen for keywords even when you're not actively using them. Others track your GPS location or monitor your browsing history to build a detailed map of your habits and preferences. This data doesn't just sit on your phone. It gets shared with third-party companies, advertisers, and massive data brokers. These brokers build shockingly detailed profiles: what you buy, where you shop, who you know, what you watch, even how often you leave home. Then they sell that profile to whoever is willing to pay. And in the worst cases, that information winds up in the hands of scammers. They can craft highly targeted scams designed just for you. Imagine an app that has access to your contacts. A scammer could use that access to send fake messages that appear to come from you, tricking your friends or family. Or think about what happens if an app knows your daily routine from GPS data. If it knows when you leave your house, that information could be misused by criminals looking for an opportunity. These aren't far-fetched hypotheticals. They happen every single day. A 2022 study from the University of California, San Diego, revealed that more than 60% of Android apps were sharing user data with outside companies, often without proper explanation or meaningful permission. So what can you do? The good news is you're not powerless. There are very real steps you can take to protect yourself and still enjoy the benefits of your smartphone. First, be selective about what you download. Stick to apps from reputable developers, names you recognize like Microsoft, Google, or trusted national brands. Be cautious with apps that have few reviews, generic icons, or vague descriptions. And always check the permissions before you hit install. If the requests don't make sense, don't download it. Second, review the apps you already have. On iPhones, go to Settings, Privacy. On Android, go to Settings, Apps, Permissions. You'll see exactly which apps have access to your microphone, location, camera, and contacts. Turn off anything unnecessary. For example, a game doesn't need to know where you are, and a calculator doesn't need to access your camera. Both iPhones and Androids now let you grant permissions only while using the app, or just once, instead of always. Use those settings. And don't hesitate to deny access completely. Many apps will still function just fine without it. Make a habit of deleting apps you don't use anymore. Just because you don't open them doesn't mean they've stopped collecting data in the background. For even stronger protection, enable features like Apple's App Tracking Transparency or Android's Privacy Dashboard. These tools show you which apps are tracking you and give you the power to shut that tracking down. And don't forget about updates. Keeping your operating system and apps up to date closes security loopholes. Use strong passwords for your App Store accounts, and whenever possible, enable two-factor authentication. That way, even if someone guesses your password, they still can't get into your account. If you're very concerned, you can install a trusted mobile security app to scan for malicious behavior. Just be careful. Ironically, some security apps are actually data harvesters in disguise. Your smartphone should empower you, not spy on you. Take charge of your apps. Read the fine print. Control your permissions. Delete what you don't need. Don't let a so-called free app rob you of your privacy. Your phone is in your pocket every day. Make sure it's serving you, not selling you. Number 3, public security cameras. The watchful eyes you never notice. Step outside your home in America today, and you are on camera. Everywhere. Grocery stores, pharmacies, coffee shops, parking lots, banks, bus stops, even quiet walking trails and church parking lots. Surveillance is no longer a plot point from dystopian fiction. It is here. It is real. and it is constant. The grainy black and white footage of decades past has been replaced by ultra-high-definition video, facial recognition, motion tracking, and AI-driven analytics. These systems do more than record events. They interpret what they see. They identify faces. They analyze movement. They follow patterns. You might be walking your dog, picking up a prescription, or stopping for a morning coffee. Without realizing it, you are leaving a digital trail. That trail, your face, your walk, the car you drive, the time of day you shop, becomes data. That data is collected, cross-referenced, and often sold or shared. Someone is watching. For older Americans who prize independence and privacy, this can feel like a betrayal. You worked a lifetime to build a life of dignity, only to discover that your steps are catalogued each time you step outside. That loss of control is deeply unsettling. Research backs this up. A 2021 report from Georgetown's Center on Privacy and Technology found that a majority of Americans are already included in facial recognition databases, often without consent. And much of the surveillance is private, not governmental. Retailers, property managers, and marketing firms operate many cameras, not primarily to keep you safe, but to predict behavior, tailor promotions, and influence purchases. Some systems even attempt to read your mood by analyzing facial expressions or body language. Police access complicates matters further. Security footage regularly finds its way into law enforcement systems. Errors in facial recognition can lead to misidentification and wrongful stops. You do not have to be doing anything wrong to become a suspect. The consequences can be personal and painful. A pharmacy visit can reveal health conditions through purchase history. A routine stop at a discount store might be interpreted as financial hardship. Over months or years, those individual data points create a profile that can be used to market to you, to judge you, or to make automated decisions that affect your life. Most people are unaware this is happening. That's why awareness matters. Start by simply looking for cameras. Notice the corners of stores, parking lot poles, ATMs, and traffic signal housings. Cameras are often visible if you take a moment to look up. If facial recognition worries you, simple measures can help. Sunglasses, a brimmed hat, or a scarf will not make you invisible, but they can interfere with algorithms that rely on a clear frontal face. Changing your route occasionally, or varying the time you run errands, can also reduce repetitive tracking patterns. Be careful about what you say in public spaces where microphones may be present, like self-checkout areas or pharmacy counters. Avoid sharing personal details aloud. Don't be afraid to ask businesses questions. Do your cameras use facial recognition? How long do you keep footage? Who can access it? Many managers will not have ready answers, but the question itself signals that customers care. On a broader level, support groups working to protect privacy, organizations such as the ACLU and the Electronic Frontier Foundation, fight for rules that limit intrusive surveillance. Your voice matters. You don't need to live in fear to take sensible precautions. In a world where cameras never blink, knowledge and small practical steps are your way of staying free. Use them. Keep asking questions. Number 4. Your home assistant, the helpful eavesdropper. Smart home assistants like Amazon's Alexa, Google Home, and Apple's Siri are advertised as everyday heroes, especially for older adults. They promise simplicity, playing your favorite music, reminding you to take your medication, answering quick questions, or even calling family with just your voice. For seniors who want to maintain independence, these devices can look like the perfect solution. But behind that convenience hides a cost you won't find on the box. These gadgets are always listening, not just when you say Alexa or Hey Google, but potentially all the time. And that changes the equation. Investigations have shown that home assistants can misinterpret background sounds, like a TV show, a laugh, or even a cough, as activation commands. When that happens, they may start recording, capturing private snippets of your daily life. And those clips don't stay in your living room. They're uploaded to cloud servers, stored for unknown periods, and in some cases reviewed by real people. In 2019, a Bloomberg investigation revealed that Amazon employed thousands of workers to listen to Alexa recordings under the label of improving voice recognition. Yet those recordings often included personal moments, children playing, medical conversations, or heated arguments. Google and Apple faced similar scandals. Whistleblowers confirmed contractors had access to private recordings without user consent. While companies now claim to have tightened safeguards, these assistants are just one part of a bigger web of smart devices. Doorbells, thermostats, light switches, even refrigerators. All connected, all collecting, all talking. Together they create an incredibly detailed portrait of your life. When you wake, when you cook, when you sleep. For older Americans who treasure privacy and peace in their own homes, that level of constant monitoring feels less like convenience and more like intrusion. Your home should be the one place where you can speak freely without feeling observed. But with a smart assistant on the counter, even a quiet conversation over coffee could become another data point. And that information isn't only stored to help you, it's analyzed, sold, and shared with advertisers or companies you'll never know. Worse yet, these devices can be hacked. A 2023 cybersecurity report revealed that unsecured assistants had been hijacked in phishing schemes and spying operations. Hackers used weak settings to access microphones and sometimes even connected security cameras. Seniors, less familiar with digital safety features, are especially vulnerable to this kind of exploitation. But you're not defenseless. The first step is simple: mute or unplug your assistant when you're not using it. Most models include a physical switch that disables the microphone. Use it. And if you're discussing financial matters, medical details, or other private issues, consider shutting the device off entirely. Next, open the app linked to your assistant, Alexa, Google Home, or Apple's settings. Review the privacy options. Disable voice training, minimize how long recordings are stored, and opt out of saving voice data whenever possible. You can also delete past voice histories or set them to auto-delete every 3 or 18 months. Still want music or reminders? Try low-tech alternatives. A Bluetooth speaker can play your playlists. A kitchen timer can handle reminders. You may lose a bit of convenience, but you'll gain control over who's listening. If you choose to keep your smart assistant, be thoughtful about what it connects to. The more devices on your network, the more data you expose. Your thermostat doesn't need to sync with your assistant, neither does your doorbell. Keep integrations minimal and always install software updates to fix vulnerabilities. Finally, educate yourself. Companies publish privacy policies, but they're often dense and confusing. Look for plain language guides from privacy watchdogs or reputable tech journalists. Learn what information your device collects, where it goes, and how you can limit or block it. You've worked hard for your peace of mind. Don't let it be stolen by a gadget disguised as a helper. With a few careful steps, you can enjoy the perks of modern technology without surrendering the privacy of your home. Number 5. Your online searches, your private thoughts exposed. Every time you type a question into a search engine like Google or Bing, it feels like a private flicker of a thought, a quiet conversation between you and your screen. Maybe you're searching arthritis remedies, planning for retirement, or checking the local weather. You probably assume those queries are just for you. The reality, however, is far more intrusive. Online searches are among the most heavily tracked actions you take. Every keystroke, every click, every pause is often logged, tied directly to your device, IP address, or even your real identity. For seniors, this surveillance is especially risky. Your most intimate questions, typed in your own home, can be turned into a digital diary that advertisers, data brokers, and even scammers exploit. Search engines don't just record what you search. They analyze how you search. They track how long you hover over links, the pages you choose, how far down you scroll, and even what terms you begin typing, then abandon. This data builds a profile revealing your health concerns, financial worries, fears, hopes, everything you thought was private. Those profiles are marketing gold. Advertisers use them to serve ads that feel like they read your mind. Even more troubling, data brokers aggregate and resell your information, creating a permanent record of your private concerns. For older adults, the fallout can be harsh. An innocent search about chronic illness or memory loss might trigger ads for questionable treatments, expensive supplements, or outright scams. Scammers know older adults may be less cautious about privacy, and they use that knowledge with precision. A 2022 FTC report found scams targeting seniors are sharply increasing, many seeded through data harvested from online behavior. A query about retirement planning might lead to a slick solicitation for an unregulated investment. A search about diabetes management could be followed by fake medical device offers. Beyond financial harm, there is the emotional sting. Realizing your private worries are being commodified can leave you feeling violated. Search tracking is relentless. Major engines, particularly Google, use cookies, device identifiers, and account logins to tie searches to unique profiles. If you're signed into an account, your queries can be linked to your name, email, and location. Even when you aren't signed in, methods like IP addresses and browser fingerprinting, unique settings like screen resolution or installed fonts, can still connect activity back to you. Profiles built from this data are sold through real-time auctions. In milliseconds, advertisers bid to show you a targeted ad. Data brokers may sell the same profile to other parties with little oversight. Scammers then leverage those details to craft highly convincing attacks aimed at seniors. Prescription scams, fake charities, or bogus retirement schemes. So what can you do? Thankfully, you can take practical steps to protect yourself without giving up the convenience of online searching. Start by switching to privacy-focused search engines like DuckDuckGo or Startpage. These services don't track your queries, don't store your IP, and don't build long-term profiles. Their results are generally comparable for everyday queries: local news, health tips, or weather. Use private browsing or incognito mode to reduce local tracking and limit cookie accumulation. Remember, though, that these options don't make you invisible to your internet service provider or the search engine itself. Clear your search history regularly. Google's My Activity dashboard lets you delete individual searches and set automatic deletion windows, 3 months, 18 months, or whatever fits your comfort level. Do the same on other platforms and clear cookies and cached data on a schedule. Be cautious with ads and sponsored links, which are common sources of scams. When seeking medical or financial information, stick to reputable domains, .gov, .edu, or trusted organizations like Mayo Clinic, AARP, or established university sites. Consider a separate browser or device for sensitive searches, one not logged into personal accounts. A virtual private network, VPN, can mask your IP address and add a layer of privacy. Services like ProtonVPN or NordVPN are user-friendly options, though usually subscription-based. Limit how much personal data you share on the web. Avoid entering your full name, birth date, or address on questionable forms. Pay attention to permissions when websites request access to location or other personal details. Keep software and browsers updated to close security holes. Use strong, unique passwords for accounts and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible to prevent unauthorized access. Support broader privacy protections by following and backing organizations that fight for consumer data rights, like the Electronic Privacy Information Center, EPIC, or the ACLU. These groups push for regulations that reduce the ability of corporations to collect and sell personal profiles. There are practical tools you can adopt right away. Install a reputable ad blocker or privacy extension in your browser to stop many trackers before they load. Extensions like uBlock Origin and Privacy. Badger limit third-party cookies and scripts that follow you across sites. Use built-in browser protections, enhanced tracking protection or strict cookie settings, and consider the Do Not Track request, even if it is imperfect. An anti-tracking search extension or privacy-focused browser can further reduce the number of trackers that see your queries. Regularly review the privacy and security settings on your email, social media, and search accounts. Turn off personalization and ad profiling when possible. Teach family members these steps so they can help you spot suspicious activity quickly. Your late-night searches, private questions about health or finances, and the doubts you type into a search bar deserve to remain yours. By choosing privacy-minded tools, managing settings, and exercising caution online, you can reclaim that quiet space. Don't let your private thoughts become fodder for corporations or criminals. Take back control of your digital footprint. Let your searches be a sanctuary, not a shopping list for advertisers and scammers. You've learned how a simple question typed into a search box can become a window for others to peer through. Your curiosity, concerns, and private plans are more visible than you think. But now that you know, you can act. Change your tools, read the fine print, guard your digital life with the same care you use to protect your home. Because the internet remembers. Make sure it remembers what you want it to, nothing more. And if this message opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more tools to protect your freedom online. Together, we can turn awareness into action.